Hi guys, I'm Carl O'Rourke from Metal Wani, and I'm delighted to be here with the mastermind behind Epica, Mark. Pleasure to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.
So I want to jump straight into what is obviously going to be a huge milestone for you guys. This Saturday, you guys are celebrating your 1000th show as a band, and in the exact same venue in the Netherlands where it all began for you too.
Yeah.
And I believe you've enlisted Kuna Coil and a couple of guys to come celebrate it with you. Could you tell us a bit about what fans can expect from the show and about how excited you guys are?
Yeah, we're gonna play one song that we never played live before.
Oh, fantastic!
So that's already a nice surprise. And we're gonna play there a longer set list than we usually do. So it's a long evening for the people because there's quite some bands playing.
It starts quite early as well.
Yeah. I also play there with my other band Mayan.
Fantastic.
So, it's gonna be a long day for me.
But a good day.
3 hours on the stage,
Amazing. So
but a good day, hopefully.
You guys are, Epica are held in like the highest regard and cited as one of the key artists in symphonic metal, and rightly so. And when we refer to the genre, Epica are bands that are just absolutely essential to the conversation, and your fellow artists have even gone as far as to say you're one of the bands keeping symphonic metal alive. How does it make you feel when you hear that?
It's a big compliment, of course, and when people say that we still come up with albums that matter, that make a difference, that's the biggest compliment that you can get.
Of course.
Because there's been so many bands releasing new albums, and then people just want to hear the old stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
And luckily with us we can play many new songs, and people like to hear them too.
Sure.
So that means that the songs are good enough, and that we keep developing ourselves and not repeating ourselves.
Do you feel any pressure or responsibility when artists and fans refer to you as keeping it alive?
Yeah, if you say it like that, I start feeling it. But when we're writing a new album, I can say then there's not this pressure. I don't feel it at all. No.
Well, where do you see symphonic metal today? Where do you think it is today as opposed to when? I mean, you guys have been around for a while now.
Yeah, you can compare it to, for example, the British wave of heavy metal with Iron Maiden. There was many bands in that time. It became really big, and then in the 90s a lot of bands disappeared, but the strong ones survived. And I think that's the same with symphonic metal. There were many bands around the early 2000s. There were many bands popping up, and nowadays only a few survived. Of course, there's also new bands coming up, but not that many anymore. And I think it's like that. The best bands are still around, and for sure, like Nightwish is one of the biggest, or maybe even the biggest.
You guys get compared to those kind of bands too, the Nightwishes and that.
Yeah, of course. Like all bands always got compared to Iron Maiden in that style. that happens to us too.
That's cool, man. And I also thought it was cool to discover just how many bands, artists and fans share the opinion that Epica are the current front runners of symphonic metal. I mean, you've blended power metal with death, with progressive and classical, and you've incorporated choirs, orchestras, and Gorgonian chants into your sound. Not every band, even within symphonic metal, necessarily goes to these lengths for their craft. What motivates or inspires you guys as a band to extend your reach that much further into what you're doing?
It's just I think the motivation in each and every band member to get the best out of the band and explore new areas. I think that's what always pushes us further. And always before a new album, we talk to each other and we say like, what can we do what we haven't done yet? And when we always find some new things, some new challenges, and that's what always keeps us also excited. Because like the last album, we could do a whole orchestra, recorded a whole orchestra.
Awesome sounding.
A huge amount of work. I wouldn't suggest it to anybody who has, has some lack of time.
It sounds amazing though. So
so I'm really happy we did it.
I'd love to talk a little bit just about your feeling on authenticity within the genre, specifically what you guys did on the holographic principle by using more real live instruments. And not every band can afford to do it, and as you said, you wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But because a lot of bands, including ourselves, you use samples and stuff like that. So at what point do you think authenticity is in danger?
Yeah, but I think as long as you follow your heart, it's never in danger. when you do what you really like doing, it's not in danger. But once record companies start telling you what to do, then it's in danger. Unfortunately, many record companies do that. But Nuclear Blast is one of the few who gives you complete artistic freedom.
Absolutely, they're fantastic. A lot of artists I've spoke to agree and feel the same. You know, since they moved there or just signed, that they feel that they have that same freedom to explore.
Really happy
their
with
scope.
them, and that's very important for us. Because also with my other band Mayan, we released 2 albums with Nuclear Blast, and for the 3rd album we could look around and we decided to stay with Nuclear Blast because it's the best label to be on, and even though, for example, a band like Mayan doesn't have the budget Epica has.
Of course.
So we for example, we also want with Mayan to record with an orchestra.
Yeah.
But we have an Indiegogo campaign for that.
Okay. Okay. That's
so
great.
yeah, because with Epica we are on this level that we can do it, but Mayan we are on a level like many other bands. To make a difference, you have to come up with a fresh idea. You have to do some magic to make it happen.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're trying.
And speaking of, you know, the magic and influence and stuff like that, you know, classical music obviously influenced metal, and it's particularly symphonic metal.
Definitely.
And there's a feeling now that it's kind of come full circle where metal is now influencing classical music again in a lot of places. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if there are any classical musicians inspired by metal music. I'm too little aware of what's going on in that scene to know about that. It would be fun,
right?
Like that,
to see it come the whole way around. Yeah. Absolutely, man. You know, what I was going to say to you then is, you know, what do you see, you know, for the future of symphonic metal, with the idea in mind that, you know, it's, you know, it come full circle and everything like that? Where do you see it going?
That's hard to tell. There were many people back in 2000 that said this style is gonna last maximum 6-7 years.
And look at it now.
Look at it now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell. Sometimes you think something is going really well and then suddenly it drops. Sometimes people say it's never gonna take long, and 50 years later people still enjoying these albums. So that's the way I hope it will go, that it will be timeless.
Sure.
So that in like 100 years people still enjoy this music, just like we do with music from the 70s. That's timeless. There's so many fantastic songs have been written in that time era. It's just unbelievable. But yeah, that was also something new, and then now many things have been done already to find still some refreshing elements. It's getting harder and harder.
Sure.
But we will see where it goes. I always stay optimistic. I always see possibilities.
Yeah, you touched on an interesting point there, because when I talk to a lot of artists, I love to ask them the question, because I mean, we're living in an age where music is so accessible that it's dangerously close to being expendable, and you know, with so many of the greats bowing out or calling it a day or anything like that, it's so difficult for new bands, even bands who've been around a while, to pick up that torch and carry it on. You know, do you know, I mean, I talked to a couple of guys who are optimistic, you know it's still around, and a couple of guys who kind of say no, it's on its way out. What do you think? Where do you think it is, or going even? Yeah,
we noticed with Epica that we were one of the last bands of the old era where it was easier to bring it to a bigger audience.
Right.
Nowadays it's very hard for bands, and we noticed already, like, to bring it up again, Mayan, my other band, it's very hard to bring that band to the next level, and
even with your reputation behind it.
But that already, there's so many examples of great singers of great bands, and then they start a solo career, they think full venues automatically. Nobody. That's the thing. You have to start all over again, even though you have, of course, a little bit, you bring your reputation and a little bit of fame with that, but all the rest you have to start all over again. But I love challenges.
Yeah.
When there's a challenge, I wanna go for it.
So are you confident or concerned for the future of rock and metal and the people, the bands who are trying to start today to get involved in that community?
I think it's still possible. So I'm confident, and really good new bands, they will make it happen. Especially if they make some smart moves, they do something what nobody else did, they market themselves in a way that nobody else did. If they manage to find such ways, then it can still happen.
I mean, every generation of bands has their own set of challenges, so it's how they face them, right?
Yeah, because when internet came up, for example, that was like for me like 1997 when I was in After Forever. Already seems like ages ago. There were just a few bands like Trail of Tears and The Sins of Thy Beloved. They had websites and they had all the guest books. So I was collecting all the email addresses from these guest books and wrote them a spam mail. That didn't exist spam at that time yet. And then I wrote them a spam mail about my band After Forever, and I really got reactions back from people. Thank you for letting me know. Because spam didn't exist. Later on, if you try that now, people they kill you. but back then it was I invented it because I didn't know it, so I invented it to make the band popular. And that's an example of every new generation has to come up with a new invention. So unfortunately, I'm the inventor of the spam mail.
The inventor of a few things, but
yeah, because in the beginning I did it like that, and later on I sent these penis enlargement emails, and then I got a huge amount of money out of that.
You heard it here first. You know, with your 1,000 show coming up, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. But for anybody who doesn't know, this is your first time in Dublin tonight.
Yes.
Are you guys excited? Because I know the fans are excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. For some reason, we never got to come here, and Ireland. I was always looking on the map because I'm a kid. But as a kid, I was always looking maps of Europe, of the world, and I always thought Ireland. So that rough island with this grey weather and beautiful nature. I want to go there.
Yeah,
and
right.
it took me almost 40 years.
But you got here.
I got here.
You got here. That's the main.
So
thing.
like yesterday, I really wanted to see something, so I went for that run and. Had a great time, and also I went to in a pub, had some beers.
Nice.
So yeah,
sampled the Guinness locally.
Yes.
Yeah, good man. Do you approve?
Yes, I do.
Good. And finally, I'd like to ask you if you could possibly share any insight at this time into the future of Epica. Is there any new music in the works for a new album, or what's next for the band?
Yeah, the thing is, we gonna keep touring till September, and then we're gonna take a little time off. We have been touring for 16 years, constantly recording, touring, and now if we feel like it's time to do a little break, not too long, a little break to recharge the batteries, and then during the break we will probably already start composing for the next album. But that little break gives us some opportunities for the side projects, like Simone want to do something,
of course,
and I have Mayan, and Rob has some side projects. Arjen, the drummer, is also in Mayan, and so everybody will fill in that little break in a different way. But I'm already feeling like wanting to write new music, and
fantastic.
So that won't take long.
Well, we can't wait for that. Mark, thank you so much for your time today, and the best of luck with everything you got coming up.
Thank you as well for the attention.